We were a typical Midwest family. Mom, dad, pot roast on Sunday, Walter Cronkite on the news. And then my parents got divorced. And everything that I knew about safety was gone.
After her parents divorced, Carrie Cecil moved with her mother to Arizona.
My childhood was filled with a lot of love, but it was filled with a lot of wanting, poverty, of struggling. My mom was trying to be both mom and dad. She worked 3 jobs. But when a parent works a lot, a single mom, kids are left to their own. I would say about 6th grade was the first time that I was touched inappropriately by a grown-up.
Through her adolescence, Carrie hid the deep pain of abuse.
The way that I saw myself at that time was damaged goods. And I was gonna do whatever it took to try to, as a kid, and then as a young adult, and then as a woman, to just mask that, to lie.
As a young adult, Carrie initially embraced a party lifestyle filled with drugs and alcohol, but as she matured, she found her comfort elsewhere.
When that didn't work for me, when self-medication didn't work, trying to fill up that hole, it was career, it was money, because poverty, I thought, was the problem. From college to New York, had some wonderful mentors there. From New York to LA, working in PR, working in movie sets, and my career was taking off.
By her 20s, Carrie was a top publicist and writer in the entertainment industry.
Here I was on the set with Arnold Schwarzenegger on End of Days. I was in Return to Paradise with Vince Vaughn and Joaquin Phoenix, and I'm working on TV shows with Will Smith on Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, and I'm climbing the ranks. And then I go out and I open my own company. And at night, I'm still going home. And I'm drinking, now I'm not drinking Boone's Farm. I'm drinking a really great bottle of Chardonnay. I'm taking 2 Xanax because I can't quiet that voice in my head.
When career wasn't enough, Carrie tried to recreate the family she desperately wanted. She married her college sweetheart, NFL star Chuck Cecil.
The cover of Sports Illustrated, the football star. Too vicious for the NFL. I mean, my husband is good looking, and still, it's not enough. There's no peace. I can't go to sleep at night. I'm still afraid inside. Even though no one knows it, I'm driving around in a Mercedes-Benz, everything looks great, oh, we're the perfect NFL family. No.
But in 2001, Carrie's life took an unexpected turn. First, she became pregnant. And then her husband began coaching for the Tennessee Titans. Carrie was stuck in the South.
And I'm from LA, and there is nothing crazier to me than Christians, than Southerners. In LA, everyone says, what do you do for a living? In Nashville, people say, where do you go to church? You're like, church? I go to church in Neiman Marcus. That's where I go to church. I don't know where you go to church. Go sell your Jesus somewhere else. Y'all are crazy.
Carrie soon discovered that she had some influential neighbors.
There is Stormy O'Mardian, Power of Praying Everything, Dr. Rice Brooks, who wrote God's Not Dead, and a African-American family, the Johnsons, Tim and Lachelle Johnson. Tim Johnson was a big NFL star. He's a pastor. And they all go to this one church in Nashville, Bethel.
She formed her closest bond with the Johnson family.
And honestly, at this point, I'm pregnant with my daughter, and I've been in LA and I'm starving. I haven't eaten. I've been trying to be skinny my whole life, and they're feeding me. Lachelle can cook anything, so she would feed me, and I would see this love in their house. And honestly, at this point, I think I was sober for the first time because I was having my daughter. I had not had her yet. And I looked in the mirror, and I just wasn't very likable.
Several months later, Carrie reluctantly agreed to visit their church.
I agreed to go to church with them only one time, to their church, one Sunday, because I wanted to solidify my Sunday meal. I'd never seen anything like it in my life. It was black, brown, yellow, people of every color. I mean, it was like a United Nations episode of Glee. I felt God only loved people that were good. So I sit in the very back row because I'm like, lightning is gonna hit this church for sure if I'm here. Pastor Tim Johnson comes up and he preaches, and something speaks to me. And it touched me, and I didn't know what it was. I was like, wow, He's talking to me.
For a year after Carrie's trip to church, she continually asked the Johnson family spiritual questions. Finally, Carrie got the sign she was looking for.
I walked into a store and I got a sign, but it was a sign on the wall. And it said, it was just a saying, I didn't know where it was from. It said, "Come to me, all of you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest." And isn't that what we want? Just peace. I just wanted to go to sleep. And I wanted my daughter to have a hope and a future. And I wanted her to be the woman that I wanted to be, but wasn't. And I went over to Tim's house that night, and Michelle and I sat on their back porch, and I said, "Okay, tell me, what is it? How do you have all this life and peace and joy?" And he said, "Baby, that ain't us. That's Jesus in us."
6 months later, Carrie was baptized at Pastor Tim's church. Today, she is a full-time speaker and author and has written a fiction work about her spiritual journey called One Sunday.
God didn't come to save the perfect. He came to save the broken. He loves us at our worst. He loves us in the places that we can't love ourselves. If you're that one person like I was, maybe you don't have anything. Maybe you have it all. At some point, you're gonna need more. And that is when God moves in. We're in a place where God will meet you exactly where you are, exactly right now.